That's right. I've got 2 cups of tea.
Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us.
Oh, we're pausing it straight away. We're pausing it straight away. So these spells here on the right-hand side, looks like we got Wingardium Leviosa. Looks like we got Wingardium Leviosa. Maybe Accio. Not too sure on the rest of it. Okay. Oh,
We
look at the
are
little
starting
mini
out,
map.
James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff Common Room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
Dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
So
they're gonna tell us.
right now we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelio is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. Like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and brewing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly, is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini-map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
There we go. Here we
go. Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories.
It feels
very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
What are they there? Chocolate frog box and a Bertie Bott everything bean box. They look very similar.
Floor. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released. You'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
It's a fast travel system.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house.
What does this look like?
A little bit differently.
This is incredible.
You can customize that experience right away.
Oh my gosh.
Look how crispy it is.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from
this
J.K.
game's gonna be
Rowling's
hard to go through without
the round
doing that.
doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
It's got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right?
Like Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air,
like
Gryffindor is fire,
as well.
Slytherin is water. We
Wow.
really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Blown away. You don't
it
even
does.
know what to say. Just look at it.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
No.
I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
Very tactile.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there. Yeah. So,
Hufflepuff barriers. Guide pages. To enter the Hufflepuff common room, one must tap the barrel 2 from the bottom, middle of the second row, in the rhythm of Helga Hufflepuff. An errant tap will result in being denied access and doused in vinegar.
these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it. And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner.
Oh
So
my
I want to talk about that
God.
a little bit. So we had
Just a little card there flipping in and out and telling you you've got 1 out of 2 or whatever it was. That, for me, is going to be so exciting. The collectibles, the having an inventory or having a page where everything is ticked off. Oh, man. I'm done. Like, that, if you just released that today, I would have been absolutely over the moon.
had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
Okay, so we have an answer to that question. And it's
Bro, nah. You ain't just going past Peeves sliding down the banister, right?
in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something
I'm
that we
gonna
call
be
the Wizard's
lost
Field
in
Guide
this
that's
game,
granted to
having
you
so
early
much
on
fun.
in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu it's got this book
Oh,
theme.
shit.
That's
We're
your
going to
Wizard's
pause it.
Field Guide, and you can
We're going to pause this. What? Gear, map, inventory, quests, outposts, settings, yeah. Challenges. Like, come on, bro. Collections. Oh, there's another one. Talents. Progress through the main story to unlock. Like this here, for me, that's everything. I want to be able to go through the inventory and make sure I'm getting everything. Go through the collections. Get every single thing. The challenges. Bro, this game is going to be so big. It's going to be so big, man. For me, like, I was a big fan of them early Harry Potter games. And they had slight bits of inventory and collectibles, but this is going to be on a whole different level.
You can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Oh,
right?
of course.
So you
Okay.
can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this
your
magical
level
property
there.
of looking
Do you know
out
what as
into
well?
the world.
I'll go back to that. This reminds me of like the cards, you know. This obviously reminds me of the chocolate frog shape of the card. But it makes me think about the famous witches and wizard cards as well, which is a good thing.
So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration challenges.
Bruh. Got my nubbly bobbly. I'm just going to just look at this now. Oh, I love the art. Again, it just reminds me of that thing I was saying about the cards. Now they've gone in, and everything's got these little illustrations, which I'm just like, yes. Combat, quests, exploration, field guide pages, room of requirement. This game is going to take over my life. Like, seriously.
And you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah.
1%. We unlocked that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna...
Circular staircase.
All the portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the flue flame just ignite right there, which was so
As you
cool.
walk closer to it.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to.
Oh no!
How much fun was it designing those and putting all those
they're
in
gorgeous,
there?
but that they're just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
It's a nod to lore. House points is not a core.
Bro. Get back.
The books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
It's a nod to lore. House.
Oh my god. Look at the hourglasses. I've been waiting for this game for like unconsciously waiting for it 21 years, but just look at their hourglasses. What? That's crazy. And the fact that they're going more to the book with everything as well makes it just so much better.
House points is not a core mechanic or system in the
Yeah,
game. It is
we didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where
really?
we want to nod to things that aren't
gonna be so
necessarily
much in this
gameplay
game.
systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
Wizarding
Andrew
World.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall
Hall.
over
Yeah.
through those doors. Again, we're not
no
going there.
way.
He's just kind of like,
Oh,
no.
Oh man,
Cool,
this is crazy to see. We're actually
Here's another
finally
collectible
here.
page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too.
Bro, the music.
That part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be
Bro, I'm
giving you a little fan
absolutely
service
done.
here with,
This is
with
crazy.
callbacks to those. So
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put in this is kind of, I get surprised by it all the time.
That's a
You know that
sentient
was-
magic castle.
Oh man. And we're going out.
Bro, these are going to be
Look
slow
at
streets. They're
that.
going to be taken by.
This is where the students would
time.
normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
Bro, like I can't even speak about how crispy
and
this looks right
I
now.
love the
like,
way that when the
just
castle interconnects
take it in.
that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides
like,
of things.
bro,
so you
I'm
really
just
get
gonna go
the-
back because, like,
They're out-
how dare you
You know that was
Sentient
the
magic
thing.
castle.
walk out the door and we're in the Hogwarts grounds and they're just like, yeah, and that's like, no, like, look at this.
And we're going out. Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to
I want the students
kind
to
of
be moving
chill
around
out,
a little
play,
bit more.
meet each other outside of the Great
But-
Hall before and after meals.
Oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle
And
is.
when you
goes
see
to
things
fast
like
travel
you'll
point,
notice the
right?
bridge over there, that's a place you
just
can go
running through the
cross.
game.
Like,
Like, I don't
everything
want to
is-
see
everything that you see
every
is a place that you can
single
visit.
speck
Wow.
We tried
of detail.
we put a lot of effort in making it feel really alive.
Bro, did they just fly? What just happened, mate?
Wow.
Oh, they're flying
Place you
past
can
on
go to and
broomsticks.
cross. Like
Yeah.
everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We put a lot of effort in making it feel really
Sound of
alive.
water.
Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's
It
Scotland.
feels alive.
And this castle's been here for hundreds
Oh,
of
there's
years,
the
so just
greenhouse.
kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it, and
Think.
Oh my gosh.
that landscape,
This is
that Scottish.
crazy,
might
boys.
look a
This
little
is what
familiar
games
to
are
you.
like
I
nowadays.
thought I recognized it. I believe
Oh,
this
so
is
this is what they're
from
doing?
the spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
What was that? Go back!
I'm going to tell Andrew
That's
not
what
to
we can
interact
hear.
with that puzzle. And to
Bro.
Andrew is taking us right back to
I am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and
What's this cloud just
to
raining?
keep moving on. We can't
Oh
spoil
my
everything.
God,
We can't
I'm
give you
blown
everything.
away. This
Hogwarts
is
contains a lot of secrets.
absolutely sick.
Oh my God.
But this is this grand.
Bro, I'm going to struggle to play this game. I'm going to struggle to be playing this game because I'm just going to be like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy. Like, every, like, step of the way, right? But, like, the way they was just going through it then, and they're just like, walking through. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to be looking at everything because it's just such high quality.
Entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle,
Like,
but
I wouldn't be moving through it this fast.
It is
I'd be
designed so
looking
you
at
shouldn't get
every
very lost.
painting,
This is
every
kind of a
single
Grand
thing
Central
around
Station.
it.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, you know, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Excavation courtyard, you know, library straight ahead. So it's kind of a
There's going to
the
be
hub.
quests,
Oh my God.
A lot of
secrets,
the castle.
mini.
Even the color visually, you can just tell. Okay, green,
Oh, green, go
greenhouse.
that way.
Oh my God.
a lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
Another little page.
That's not to say that it's
These
easy to
seem
learn.
quite
All of
obvious
us here
then, but,
still
like, you
get
just-
pretty lost
They
in
get
it on a
harder and
daily
harder.
basis. It's a castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what I'm
That
doing. I know what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill out.
What is she
And
doing?
an
And,
opportunity
What is she
to.
calling them? Dandelions or
To where the
dandelions?
students will gather.
I know what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity to talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just
What up,
so
Nellie?
excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former
keys
headmistress,
fly about.
Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor
There we go,
Black
we're gonna
couldn't
need
be
them.
bothered to disenchant the keys.
Professor
And they
Black?
appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
The Serious family?
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked
Right.
cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the
Headmaster.
key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Options. I'll look into it. Why would a headmaster do such a thing? So he is the headmaster, yeah. Why don't you follow the keys?
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do.
What's going on in the background?
In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
I'm done.
So those kind of
I
side
hope
quests
you
are really, it's a cool way to interact
If you manage to
with
open a
your
cabinet.
fellow students, with
I'm just... What? I'm going to be absolutely floored playing this game. If that was me straight away, I'd be going, boom, straight to the astronomy tower, looking for that key, finding it, bringing it back. I'm going to get so distracted along the way as we go. Why have they released a 40-minute video of this? It's too much.
perhaps other teachers, with, you know, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
In this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions Different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game-wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes
We've
it's
been
just
playing it for
about you
years.
being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look
That's
at this.
incredible. To think
This
the
is
level
Dada,
of games
Defense Against the
nowadays.
Dark Arts.
Power.
Tower, which this is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just
Bro!
the richness
It
of
is
this area.
very
is
iconic, very unique
It's
to
so detailed.
anywhere else in the
It
castle.
just looks
Somebody
so
else that we can
seamless,
talk
though.
to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Oh. Oh my.
Everyone hates you.
It's gonna be too much.
Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoil sports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones?
No.
Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
God damn.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least,
You
not
see
off-
how the choice was sounds awful, where he could have just been nice and said, "Oh, sounds awful," but I have no interest in something like that. Sprays you with a foul smell. They really like contrasting options, I suppose.
often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Oh, I'll be on it straight away, finding them, running around. So I take it you can literally be a dick. Like an evil dick that just says all the worst things in every interaction and everybody hates you. And yeah, and obviously the opposite is true as well. That's crazy.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
See?
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
Like, bro, yeah, help her. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
Man, there's gonna be so much.
I love that
more in
interaction
this.
with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like,
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over.
they continue.
That's a good example of the.
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah.
what the
Gobstones
actual
is one
game
of the things
as well.
that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's both it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were
Every
calls that
single
we had to
thing.
make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket,
Gobstones,
just kind of for the overall help of
Wizard's
the thing.
chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
aren't featured.
Yeah.
They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we,
life.
the game looks
we regretted because
absolutely
we couldn't
hate as
include
it
it.
is,
We
right?
also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're
see the
like,
reaction.
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize
insane.
that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions.
It's so weird for me to just see them walking around and everything's just seamless. It feels like a real place. So, like, to them, it's just their school, you know, walk around. But, like, I'm like, what? Look at this. This is what we're getting.
About that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately we decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high
society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area, because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
But like, speaking of lived in, like the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that.
I just saw a room go by.
It feels lived in, it feels really alive. The environments are...
The data tower was one example,
looks too
but
good.
no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player, help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality.
People are gonna go mad with like the lore and like Easter eggs in this, and this is from this, and this. This game is gonna be absolutely phenomenal. I guarantee it.
Personality, I like that, because it does, like, Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go. Feels just a little bit different.
I couldn't see that.
Where you go feels just a little.
Level 1 lock picking. This is what I'm really looking forward to, like the little secret little bits, or the bits you've got to get some skills up to go into and get on with.
Little bit different.
A sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years. It's going to kind of grow and develop. I heard something.
Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic,
there
Mr. Magic
is.
himself.
My future poltergeist too.
We talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's
you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky, and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
There's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I got to call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I love the fog rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
I also love that, as one of my favorite things about
these people that made the game, they all seem genuinely really happy and excited for this game, which is so good for the level of care and detail that's put into the world. These are enthusiastic people, creators, fans, there's developers, etc., which makes for what we see here. Just look,
all those things that I see are
for
places
itself.
that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation, knowing that is real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous castle.
Which is crazy to
We're
think.
closing it out here in the Clock Tower, so another recognizable location. But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club, is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here,
who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice.
Sick!
Ready to have a try now?
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
and this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, and all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face button.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And,
People are going to be absolutely
so you learn
crazy
over the course
in
of
this
these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things.
So now
And
he's
so
using
if you hold down
Leviosa.
R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them. And that's how you access all those.
Oh man.
Leviosa, and then
It looks like you might
Leviosa
need some
just
action
tap the
over here.
R2,
Yeah.
and then R2.
So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you use
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap. Awesome. Good job, Andrew.
Mate,
That's just against the dummy.
it's gonna
but I
get
mean,
complicated, huh?
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging.
Complete side missions. Crest.
It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
Oh, he's going
We're on a
in with-
PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause
I'm
the action
Yeah.
and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Oh, look, Sebastian Swallow.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your
of the other
classmates.
students.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
Who do we want to go against? Him.
So
Ready to
apparently
get
you've
thrashed.
got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
3, yeah.
Apologies
Off the
in advance.
jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in.
that there? Break through violet shields with 4 spells, like the summoning charm Accio, to manually target objects. Clicking R3. Shush. Recording. To lock on and change targets. Okay, that's cool. That's nice to know.
So
Lock on
you're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are,
look, the combo thing's building up.
And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use.
Oh, and we've got 4 colors here. We've got the yellow, the red, the blue, and purple.
Rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with the Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
Man, it's just incredible.
If you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here. Win this duel.
How fast it is.
I was gonna say it's fast combat, right? Man just drunk a potion mid-fight.
We really felt like in the movies, there's almost like it's kind of like there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning.
Flickers.
Or at least surviving the next round.
This is incredible.
I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
So to speak.
And that is more or less gonna wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts, and just that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without
a
little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time.
Okay.
So leaving the castle,
of these.
Going out here.
Oh shit. Leaving the ground.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes.
Like obviously exploring the outer regions of Hogwarts.
But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts
Spot on.
to
Look at
the
that.
world beyond Hogwarts. And this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future.
They're going to be doing that before the game releases. Man, this is incredible.
A little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there.
There's not even words I could put in.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up here, but
this looks.
I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen, but I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that, because there's a lot.
have I literally just watched, mate? What have I just witnessed? This is just crazy. To think that games are at this level now, like the level of detail from where I played games, when I started playing games, it's just so crazy. And to see this franchise get this level of polish is just... Bro, I've been your boy Nog. This is incredible. I'm probably said incredible an incredible amount of times in this reaction video. Yeah, appreciate you. Don't forget to check out the first episode of our Road to Hogwarts Legacy. I'll link the video there. Yeah, and subscribe for Hogwarts Legacy content.